GCO podcast family, Kris Lindahl here, and I'm so excited for you to dive into this episode. Real quick before you start, please know that I started this podcast for the same reason I started the Guaranteed Cash Offer program and wrote the Guaranteed Cash Offer book to help people. I've sat across the table from so many homeowners in my career, and I realized super early on that people like you need another option than facing the risks of the open market. Something that helps you in life situations when nothing is more valuable than gaining the freedom to move on to the next chapter of your life. So keep that in mind as you listen to this episode, and congratulations on thinking differently than most people when it comes to real estate. Let's go. Nothing creates more conflict, confusion, and hurt feelings than a death in the family. And it's the number one reason why people tap into our Guaranteed Cash Offer program. Hi, Kris Lindahl back with you, and today I'm gonna tackle a difficult subject. It's one I know all too well because I dealt with it when I was a teenager and my father died unexpectedly. When we lose someone in our family, especially a partner, we're already dealing with shock and grief. The last thing we want to add to that are conflicts over possessions, especially a house. Unfortunately, this happens a lot, especially when the person who died didn't have a will. I've seen it over and over again. You know, the same family members who stood shoulder to shoulder at their relative's funeral are now fighting over what to do with the house. Maybe one sibling wants to sell it on the open market. Another one wants to rent it out. Another one wants to take it over and live there. You've got distant cousins coming out of the woodwork. And when the lawyers start getting involved, look out. Here's the deal. If you chose to listen to this episode of the Guaranteed Cash Offer podcast, then I already have an idea of what you might be going through. Maybe your family is getting along okay, but you're avoiding selling your relative's house because it's easy in the short run to just ignore it. Maybe you think you need to wait for the probate process to run its course, or maybe you're in the process of cleaning out the house and the thought of everything you need to do to get it ready to sell is keeping you up at night. I've seen it all, and it's totally normal. And I also know that the reason over 30,000 people have tapped our Guaranteed Cash Offer program is that they trust us. They see us everywhere. Maybe they know someone who worked with us recently and had a great experience. They know we're based here. We're not some faceless company with no roots in the area. We're actually hugely active in the community, and we're all about giving back to it. Here's the latest review from someone who changed their life by saying those 6 magic words. I accept my Guaranteed Cash Offer.
My in-laws' house had been in the family for years and it was hard to sell, but with the Guaranteed Cash Offer program, the decision to sell was made easier. The people we worked with were professional, personal, reliable, and effective. Thank you, Kris Lindahl. Judith.
Join over 30,000 people just like you who have tapped our Guaranteed Cash Offer program. Ready to sell today? Call Kris with a K. And now back to the show. Now, let me be clear about something up front. I'm not saying that accepting a Guaranteed Cash Offer will somehow magically erase the grief you're feeling or make stresses and family conflicts go away. But based on my real life experience, I know that it can provide helpful solutions and make things a heck of a lot easier during a challenging time. The before and after I've seen for people who accept a Guaranteed Cash Offer on a deceased relative's house is amazing. I've seen people who've lost partners suddenly feel a break in their loneliness. I've seen people smile a little more, breathe a little easier, and stand a little taller because they used to feel trapped, and now they feel free. They can finally move to the next chapter of their life, and they're excited. People have told me how great it is to not feel that conflict over which real estate agent they should hire. They feel like it's now easier to deal with their family members' possessions. They're no longer arguing with siblings over how they should price the house, which repairs and updates they should make, and how much money they should spend on that. It can all be summed up in one word: relief. That's what I want you to feel. In fact, if you're in the middle of cleaning out your relative's house, stop. You might not have to go through that physical and emotional pain because we may be able to take care of it for you. So many people call us after they've already cleaned everything out of their relative's house, and I always wish they'd called sooner because our program can save you a lot of stress around cleaning and packing. When you accept your Guaranteed Cash Offer, you can leave everything behind and we'll handle it. Because of my personal experience with this issue, I also have one more specific piece of advice. I've seen all kinds of problems start to arise when there are too many points of contact in your family. It's absolutely critical that you have only one person representing your family with the real estate company. Again, simplicity rules the day. So to wrap this episode up, the death of a partner or family member should be about remembering and celebrating the person who has passed, not about dealing with the pain of packing their belongings and getting into disputes over money and property. Accepting your guaranteed cash offer can save you invaluable time and stress. Don't waste another minute stuck and overwhelmed over what to do with an inherited house. You have way more options than you might think, and I've seen it over and over again. A guaranteed cash offer can get you and your family to a better place. Hey, it's Kris one more time. I really hope that episode resonated with you. And if so, I would strongly encourage you to take the next step, especially since the market and economy are changing every day. There's absolutely no obligation on your part, and it's super easy. Call 763-401-SOLD and mention that you just heard me on the Guaranteed Cash Offer podcast. Once again, that number is 763-401-SOLD. Thanks for listening, and I'll be talking to you again soon.